Hey, I'm Sven Masterson, one of the co-founders and mentors in the Mentoring Men community. And in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about loneliness. You see, we talk to a lot of men all around the world who would say they struggle with loneliness. And I find this really relatable. I'm 49 years old at the moment, and for a good bit of my life, I would say maybe 20, maybe 30 years of it, even though I was married and I have 6 children, I felt miserably alone. I could go to conferences, I could be in huge crowds, and I would always feel like an outsider. I'd feel isolated. I would feel alone, lonely, and it used to really baffle me. It used to really cause me a lot of emotional pain and discomfort to feel like in a huge crowd of people that I was by myself. Now, clearly I wasn't by myself, so what was going on? What was this all about? And so I want to talk to you in this video about the difference between loneliness and solitude, because now, in this day and age, I actually enjoy solitude. It's not uncommon for me to go on long drives of 3, 5, 8 hours and enjoy just the silence of the road, no music, no podcasts, no company, and just enjoy being with myself. And so what changed? How did I go from being the guy who literally would be at the edge of the crowd looking in, wondering why I felt so lonely, to being a guy who could travel 1,000 miles in a car with no noise, just myself, and thoroughly enjoy the experience? The difference is not actually a mindset, although a lot of people would probably tell you that. It's that I changed what happened and what happens inside of me. You see, being alone and being in solitude are very similar. And in both cases, it's really a feeling about being with yourself. And so if there are two things, loneliness and solitude, that reflect being with yourself, how are they different? Well, the difference for me was how I felt about myself and how I enjoyed myself. And you see, at the time when I was standing at the edge of those crowds, thousands of people, feeling alone in those crowds, what I didn't have then was a deep appreciation, fondness, and acceptance of myself. And so I couldn't enjoy a sense of connection because I was disconnected from me. Now that has changed. I've done a lot of work on myself and inner work over the years that has resulted in addressing fear and anxiety, shame and insecurity, things that cause me to deeply judge and reject myself. And so since I lived in this state of kind of perpetual self-loathing and judgment that kept basically placing myself into a state of disqualification for the love and acceptance of other people because I disqualified and rejected myself, well, I could never feel connected with other people, even in crowds of other people. And that's what changed. And see, after that change, now I can appreciate being by myself for days, hours, sometimes weeks on end. Now, I'm not advocating, by the way, that men live in isolation. Isolation is generally not helpful for people unless they're sick and in some sort of quarantine. And even then, it's helpful for them to not spread it to others, right? But it's not really helpful for our kind of a psychological and spiritual and mental well-being to be isolated. So this is not a video promoting an ideology of isolation. We're, after all, a men's community of men who are deeply related to each other. However, I am suggesting that there's tremendous benefit in learning to be able to appreciate your own company. And that oftentimes a feeling of loneliness, the emotional feeling of being alone and not liking it, is actually just a canary in the coal mine letting you know that something deeper is going on. And that something deeper, I found in my own journey, but also in the journey of helping hundreds of men through this, is actually a deep-seated rejection of yourself. It's actually not appreciating who you are. And so you don't like to be alone because you don't like who that person is. Now, imagine for a moment that you got a chance to spend a day with someone that you just really admire and like. you'd be really excited about it. In fact, if you've had this opportunity, I'm sure you have looked forward to it with eagerness. You've looked forward to just the time being with them, maybe, bantering about and going places and doing something, because you enjoy being in the presence of that person. You feel a connection to them. And really, we should be able to have this experience with ourselves. We should be able to look forward to being with self, to banter with self, to go places and do things with self. That's the benefit of being able to enjoy solitude. Yet you can't do that if yourself is not somebody that you know, that you appreciate, that you value, that you find worthy of life and love, and that you love. And so this is really the issue, and this is why I want to talk to you about it, because if you're struggling with loneliness, what I could help you uncover, and I would love to do, is to find out why. What are the stories that you carry about deeply within yourself that have actually led you to believe that you're not worthy of love and appreciation, respect and value, not from yourself anyway. And so they've caused you to have this insatiable thirst for getting those things from other people. And this is what leads to this feeling of loneliness, including loneliness in a crowd, is what we're really feeling is all of these hard emotions of rejection, of not feeling accepted, of not feeling approved and valuable and loved and worthy. And we're getting frustrated that those things are not coming to us. But as my coach and mentor, Steve Horseman, says, you can't get enough of what you don't really need. And so when you have this insatiable thirst for these things from other people, nobody can give those to you in a measure that satisfies that feeling, which is why you'll be alone or feeling alone, even in a crowd, even when you're with your spouse, even when you're with people that you love. You can have this feeling of emptiness, and what you're really feeling is that. And so I want to talk to you in person if this is you. If you're a person who is struggling to find out, why do I feel horrible when I'm with a spouse, with my family, with my kids? Why do I feel completely alone and miserable when I'm in a crowd? There is hope, right? And I love to work with men who are on this journey, because this was my journey, and uncovering these truths was a huge shift for me, a huge transformation. You see, it turned out that it improved so many relationships that I thought were poor and failing, because I judged the quality of those relationships based on their capacity to soothe and to satisfy my feeling of loneliness. But they couldn't, because I could never get another person's acceptance, appreciation, love, and respect so much that it would overcome my need to give those to myself. And so I have learned a lot as a man and as a men's coach in helping men navigate that space, and I'm eager to talk to you about it. And so if you're hearing this saying, this is exactly how I feel, Sven, I want you to look down in the video description below. You'll see a link where you can fill out a form to connect with me. This is not a sales and marketing funnel. You're not going to get daily emails from now on, because I hate that. I hate that people do that. What you're going to get is a response. It's going to invite you to my calendar. You're going to pick a day and a time at work for you, and we're going to have like a 60 to 90 minute conversation exactly about this. It's going to be real. It's going to be authentic. And we're just going to talk about these things because they're so important to me. I quit a 25-year IT career just to help men through these things. And I want to do that with you. And so all of that can get started below if you click on that link. And I will hope to see you in a call soon. Take care.